Hello BookTube, it's Joshua here, and today I'm going to be, today's Poetry Thursday. I'm actually recording this on Wednesday, but I'm doing it ahead of time because I might be busy on Thursday. But I'm going to be posting this on Poetry Thursday, and last week I announced that I was going to do a read aloud of Ursula K. Le Guin's Finding My Elegy. And I read you the first poem in that collection, and now I'm going to read you the next 3 poems. Because I realized that if I just do like 1 or 2 poems per video, this will take like a year to finish. So I'm doing 3 poems, but they aren't very long at all. This will just be like 10 minutes or something. And I'll just after I read them, I'll just say my kind of initial impression, my thoughts on it. It's not going to be very planned, and I would love it if you guys also said your thoughts on it or whatever in the comments or an email or whatever. But okay. The first poem that I'm going to be reading you is called In England in the 50s. So here it is. Over the cities and villages hovering, coal smoke drew curtains, gauze veils of darkness, even in daylight, blackening windowsills, ledges and cornices, drifting in tiny bituminous particles into the lungs. Still the remembered scent of those hearth fires haunts me, rich with nostalgia. Resinous fragrance of forests unthinkably ancient, incense shrunk to a black rock buried and hidden deep, deep for eons. Dugouts with heart-killing labor, laid on a hearthstone, lighted. Myrrh on an ignorant altar, arson of centuries. Forest after forest unclosed all its complex, sweet darkness, curled up into the wind, and was gone where the wind went. So that is the poem. This is probably maybe my favorite poem out of the 3 here that I'm going to read you. I think it's reflecting on, well, a memory that I'm assuming the author had in the 50s in England, where coal smoke was in the air, and it seems that she's just kind of reflecting on what that means really, and she calls it she calls that coal smoke the resinous fragrance of forests unthinkably ancient. And so I think there's this deep sense of loss, where the fact that when you're burning coal, you're burning such you're burning ancient forests, you're burning such ancient things. And then she calls it myrrh on an ignorant altar. So she's kind of comparing it to almost a religious ritual where you're like burning something on a shrine, except it's kind of perverted in a way. It's not right. That seems to be. I think that's what she's saying. So I like that quite a bit. I wonder what you guys think. And the next one is the next poem is The City of the Plain, and I also like this quite a bit. What can I make it a metaphor for? This is transgression, made concrete and asphalt and 30-foot palms of aluminum. This is the gone too far, the great slot, a 3D spectacular. Moses meets Bambi in the Techno-Kululia desert, yes Lord, where pyramids tangle with Hiltons, 4 or 5 towers of Eiffel or possibly Lego crouch under condos and blue skies skipped clean of all cloud, except for the yellowish forest fire smoke from the mountains up yonder. Actual mountains, 5 size, burning, but nobody's worried. Arable plains, or the lowlands, my Spanish dictionary says it means. But not to the lady who crouches hour after hour after hour in front of the video poker game, inhaling the yellowish smoke of her camels burning, but nobody's worried. And not to the lady who pole dances, and not to the lady who lugs in the buckets and mops. No, maybe to her once, not anymore though. Las Vegas are not anymore in a language, is not what it says it is, has nothing to mean. After Las Vegas, you have to go into the desert for a long time. Years, generations. Envoy to Lot's wife. Salty lady, dry your tears. Nothing worth your sorrow. Salty lady, don't look back. Don't look back tomorrow. So that is the second poem. And I like that quite a bit. When I first read this, I was very confused. I had no idea what it meant. But it seems to just be reflecting on Las Vegas, on what Las Vegas is and what it tells us about, I think, our culture and society. And Ursula K. Le Guin clearly doesn't like it. You know, the first part where she's combining all these different, you know, things. Moses meets Bambi, the Great Slot, like a slot machine, but calling it the Great Slot. I mean, she's including all of these, you know, cultural allusions, and I think trying to evoke a sense of chaos. I think it's a very chaotic poem, and I think that's what she's trying to say about Las Vegas and the kind of maybe the kind of you know, culture that Las Vegas symbolizes. And so it's kind of it's fairly grim. It's yeah, it's really not, the poem really is kind of not liking Las Vegas. And then there's this last part, and this last part says, envoy to Lot's wife. And of course, Lot's wife, well, Lot is the biblical character who lived in Gomorrah and then had to be rescued from it before Gomorrah was, you know, destroyed by God. And then Lot's wife is the character who, even though she's told not to look back, looks back and then gets turned into salt. And I really like this section because I'll just read it to you one more time. Salty lady, dry your tears, nothing worth your sorrow. Salty lady, don't look back tomorrow. And so I think that last line, don't look back tomorrow, is very interesting because I think first of all, Ursula K. Le Guin is comparing Gomorrah to Las Vegas, and then but then by including don't look back tomorrow, she's kind of saying that this symbol of Las Vegas, this you know, maybe chaos in our culture is it's only going to continue into the future. It doesn't bode well for our future. Maybe that's kind of my thinking. That's my very confused thinking about it. And then the third poem is watching the fractal set, and I have no idea what on earth this poem is talking about. I'm just gonna read it to you. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to say about this. Here it is. Okay. Candidates are hacked into small bloodless morsels and deep fried in steroids, and the weather will occur while skyscrapers and redwoods skip about in earnest spectacles on a nose, 2 seconds long at most. And once again the Jesus man, the zircon, bargains scores of ball games and the round black ears, while people laugh who are not there or dead. And if you zoom up, it seems larger yet, is the same size exactly. Or zoom down and it seems tiny, but no change in size exactly. All the same, the weather, Jesus, steroids, zircons, candidates, dead children laughing, and the awful round black ears with round black ears on them, the mouse of Mandelbrot. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But I like the first two poems. And so I think well, yeah, again, I don't know what to say about the third poem, but for the first two poems, I think they kind of pair well together because, you know, they're talking about different places in the world and reflecting on the things that are happening there and what they say about our culture. And it's certainly like a criticism of our culture, for sure. And so, yeah, that's all for this video. The next few poems I'll read to you are going to be about war. I think the next 4 or 5 poems in here are all about war. And I really like these poems. So we will look forward to that next time. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope my, you know, commentary on those poems wasn't too, you know, stuttery or anything. But, yeah, see you guys.